Kay McGrath has graced Australia's TV screens for more than 4 decades, starting as a crime reporter in 1979.
It was standing room only in here this morning.
It wasn't long before Christopher Skase lured Kay to Channel 7 to launch the network's first breakfast TV show.
And I'm Kay McGrath. Good morning.
Prime time followed. So many fun stories.
This means I can have big dinner tonight.
Hey Kay,
Hello.
how are you? Great to see you.
Fabulous to meet you. Please have a seat.
Good to have you out of the studio.
And the tough ones.
Guilty, confirming. Brett Peter Cowan, guilty on 2 counts. Excuse me. This is a very emotional time.
Kay is a powerful force behind and away from the news desk. In 2017, she was awarded an Order of Australia for her charity work and contribution to broadcast journalism. But now Kay says it's time for change, insisting this isn't retirement, just repurposing. Okay. Oh, I love that. The wonderful Kay McGrath joins us now live from our Brisbane studio. Kay, congratulations. 40 years in this business. It's a tough business. It's been a very tough business for women for many years. Firstly, you've seen some changes in your time, haven't you?
Indeed I have, and good morning Sam and Kochie, and thank you so much for inviting me on. When I started in the newsrooms, we typed on an Olivetti typewriter. There were ashtrays, of course, and the afternoon tea trolley. And we shot on film, we spliced the stories together, and, you know, there were so many resources available then. Women were always given the softer options, but now we're allowed to head off to war zones, even report in Canberra. So some of those barriers have certainly been lifted. Times are changing.
They certainly have. I remember when we first met back in 1988 on TVAM, Christopher Skase, before he got crook, was at the top of his game. That was an unforgettable time for the industry, wasn't it?
Weren't they the heady days of television, Kochie? The golden era, that's for sure. Unlimited resources. I remember French champagne being sent up to the channel when we happened to win the ratings on one occasion. Of course, there were the very colourful Christmas parties with the, the dry ice and the Mighty Quinn being played, and beautiful gifts. I still have this leather and gold bracelet, which was bestowed on me one year. I also got an Hermes scarf. Sadly, I regret giving that away, but I'm not a scarf girl.
Well, those were glory days. They give us Opal cards now.
You've got an Opal card? Okay, it's a good time to get out because they're not spending like that anymore, I tell you what. Listen, on a more serious note, part of the privilege of these sorts of jobs that we are lucky enough to have is that you can become the, you are put into roles like the patron of the Daniel Morcombe Foundation. You're heavily involved in multiple charities, and we just saw in that story you delivering the news that Daniel Morcombe's killer was guilty and how emotional that made you. So you do become invested in these stories, and now you can actually help in real life.
It's a privilege, Sam, and I've always said that, to be able to use the degree of recognition and celebrity, I use that word loosely, but to be able to use that to raise awareness about important issues such as child protection, which has always been very close to my heart. And of course that verdict that day was so emotional because I think the entire nation wanted to hear that word, guilty, to give some sort of healing to Bruce and Denise Morcombe. We'll never know how much good work that they've done, how many little lives they've saved, how many lives they've healed. The annual dance for Daniel's coming up on March the 14th. We'll have to get you two up for it one year.
Excellent. Now, you're saying it's not retirement.